Right then, welcome to this video. This video is basically me telling my story about how I felt like the VSF event went, and my experience and my thoughts through the whole event. Because I did day one on winner's side, got to day two, and then obviously faded out against all the professionals, which it's a really good run. I came 33rd altogether in the event for my first ever offline tournament, my first ever offline experience. Amazing. So I've got a couple of notes where I want to go over a few things, but bear with me because I'm just going to try and do this uncutted and unedited, so it's just can just roll out, and I don't have to spend too much time on the video. But I've got my phone here with my notes. Excuse the background. I was going to put some gameplay or something through it, but I haven't got time for that because I can't, for some reason, play on PC. This is just on. My controller keeps turning on and off, on and off. Don't know what it is. It's not the controller. It's the Steam. So the whole event, all in all, was amazing. Honestly, the best gaming experience I've ever had going to VSF, and I wholeheartedly believe that it was unreal for someone that's never experienced it before. Undescribable. No way I'm gonna ever I'm gonna go every year now because it's just that incredible. But amazing, loved it. I'm gonna go into the second thing now. Meeting the people in the community was absolutely insane. Meeting people I've played with, people that I've played in quick match, ranked, people coming up to me and shaking my hand and saying, "Oh, hi, you're this guy," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." It was so weird, but it was insane. It is, honestly, it feels like such a blessing just to experience that, and meeting all my friends I've known on Discord, and Cupid, Fox, Shadow, insane meeting people. There's so many more people I could list off, but it was insane meeting these people in real life. It's just oh my god, they're it's just insane. Basically, it was insane meeting these people, and it was amazing to finally meet them in real life and actually get to talk about anything from Tekken and watching each other play. It was, in the support is insane. Moving on to the next thing, the casual games. I'll say I basically stomped on the casual games. From my experience, I would argue 90% of my players. I didn't lose a single set. Did really well in the casual games. There was a few opponents. I played against Sin, which I didn't know he was Sin at the time, but he absolutely mollywopped me. It was embarrassing, and then but he wouldn't really talk to me when I was playing these casual games. This would have been a perfect opportunity to help the community on his side. All right, no, actually, you should do this better. But he wasn't talking. He was just being awkward. It was weird. And every time he would combo me, he would just stare at me, try and get to see if I'm giving a reaction that he liked. It was a bit odd, if I'm honest. And then Blue, I was going against him on stream anyway as my first opponent in day two, so I was like, "Fucking hell, this is perfect now." So I asked him, how do you really go against Yoshi? Because he's played me before, and he was saying, "I'm not giving you any advice." I'm like, I mean, on one hand, I'm like, he's playing for money, so I can understand. But at the end of the day, he's a professional player coming from America, and he absolutely stomped me. So he didn't give me any advice before the game, which I mean, I sort of okay, But he didn't give me any advice after the game either, which was, on my part, for a person of his level, it's a bit embarrassing on his side. He should put a bit of effort in helping the community, making the Tekken scene better. I'm a casual at the end of the day, but no, he didn't. I want to go back to the meeting the community. I met Rukang as well. He was a lovely guy, the GOAT commentator. But I'll segue back to Rukang. later on. Yeah, I've obviously skipped a few paces, but my tournament top run was top 92, day 2. Run ended there. I fought Sin first game, and then losers bracket I fought Hopper, the streamer. Hopper's a lovely guy. I know he gets a lot of stick online and stuff like that, but he is a lovely guy. It was toe to toe. Honestly, the set could have gone any way. I won the first match, he won the second, and then the match after. But it was so close. It was like a neutral. Whoever controlled neutral in that time was whoever was going to win the match, and he had the upper hand in that regard. But he was a lovely guy. I'd like to play him again and speak to him again. He was really nice. But he defeated me and got me out. I think he got 17th overall, which was insane. Really, he was so close to top 10. Insane player. And all the players I played were really good. But yeah, my run ended on top 96, 33rd place. Now I'm going to go over to the things I didn't like about the event. Things that were kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I was just a bit, that sucks, that's shit. But before I get that, I want to say the tournament organisers overall, everyone that I spoke to for advice and help about how the event should be managed were lovely. I didn't get any of their names, unfortunately. But as you go down the stairs, if you know VSF, there was this table to the right hand side to tournament organisers. They were lovely. They helped me out a lot and helped me understand how the event runs and stuff. So that was nice of them. Things I didn't like. Right, we'll move on to that. I didn't like the attitude the pro players had. Sin, basically. I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but my first impression of him wasn't the best. I'm sure he's nice, but I'm sure he was playing for money at the end of the day. But it rubbed me the wrong way. I'll probably meet him again in the future if he goes to VSF. So the interaction will be different. I just think that rubbed me the wrong way at the time. Didn't like it. It is what it is. He's playing for money. I'm a casual. I don't know how it is really. So, it is, whatever. The attitude that I was received from the tournament, one of the tournament organisers, again, I didn't catch any names, so I can't name drop them. Which people were like, oh, I can't name drop them. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to name drop because, it helps better themselves and helps them help the community down. When I was going on stream, you've got to put your name, your country, and your character, or your team and stuff like that. I put Wales down because I'm Welsh. It is in the UK, but it's a separate country, and it said country. So I put Welsh down because I am... Well, I put Wales, not Welsh. You know what I mean. I put Wales down because I am from Wales. Didn't think anything of it. No one else is representing Wales. It's just they just put UK. I would prefer it if they represented Ireland, England. That I think because it's a UK tournament, it should be represented that way, not just put UK because that's a bit boring and it doesn't show diversity, in my opinion at least. But yeah, he basically, I put it down, gave the tablet back to him, and watching the event, Kanda was playing absolutely insane. Really good watch, watching Kanda play. And then he comes back to me and says, "What's this country?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? It's Wales. It's a country I'm Welsh." And he laughed at me. I mean, I swear to you, he laughed to me and said, "Fuck off," and then just changed it to UK. In my opinion, that was very rude, and I honestly feel it's unacceptable. I want to represent Wales because it doesn't get represented enough in esports and FGC, definitely not in FGC, and it was just laughed off and shrugged off and changed, and I'm like, I want to represent my country at the end of the day. I mean, it was very rude. It could have been, I'm sorry to say, but we're going to have to put that UK if that's okay for you. That's just the way it runs. I would have been like, okay, fair enough, but I want it changed in the future. Something simple like that. He could have gone about it such a different way. But he laughed at me and said, fuck off, no. That was rude. I want to interject with tournament organisers. They only spoke to people like pros they knew. And I thought it was a bit like, they're kind of gatekeeping a bit. They could have... Like, I tried to talk to one of the tournament organisers. They just shrugged me off. And I'm like, oh, they won't talk to me. But they'll talk to Sin that was sitting next to me. It was a bit weird. Very odd on some of the tournament organised. But some of them were lovely. So it's probably hit or miss. I mean, my first event, I can't really go off, being too salty about it. But I just, wanted to share my experience on the whole thing. Overall, it's amazing. I'm going to go again, 100%. But there are a few things that I want to get picked up. I'm going, when VSF comes around next year, or if there's a tournament around Birmingham, I'm going to email and I want to represent Wales because it's my country, I want to represent. But yeah, I'm going to hopefully close the video in a minute if I don't stop waffling. But I just wanted to share my thoughts on the whole event. I do recommend anyone to go to an offline, a tournament or something like that. For me, this was a massive travel thing because I live in North Wales. I have no tournaments or offline scene anywhere near me. The nearest one is a 3-hour drive either way direction I go, which is a lot of time to travel when you're traveling on your own somewhere, and it's just, it's exhausting, and it's, I'm not about that travel life. I'd rather not. If it's like an hour, maybe 2, it's quite doable, but any longer than that is just a bit long. But yeah, if anyone wants to go to a tournament, I recommend going. I know Manchester's, I'm eyeing up doing tournaments there, but it's quite a long drive either way. Maybe if there's one in Liverpool, that's still a drive, but I'm thinking about doing it if there is one there. But overall, positive experience. Loved the event. I mean, absolutely, I'll never forget meeting these people and experiencing the event. It's insane. I learned so much. I think I'm playing overall better now. And yeah, the community was amazing. Everyone I spoke to, everyone I played was asking me, how do I deal with Xiaoyu in this situation? And I was more than happy to help because I'm not going to gatekeep information on people struggling on wanting to understand how to deal with things. I think knowledge is power, and everyone should have information for free. Yeah. Anyway, hope everyone enjoyed my little waffle session, and obviously I'm not looking at the camera because I've got a monitor there, I've got a monitor up there now, camera's there, but I'm going to try and get used to this. I'm going to try and figure out why I can't use my controller on the PC. Why it just keeps disconnecting and reconnecting. I need to figure it out. But anyway, hope everyone enjoyed my little waffle and wanted to know about my experience on VSF. And yeah, peace. Enjoy.